Welcome to this week's TechA video newsletter from Insight Support on Monday the 28th of April 2008. TechA is where we look at the key indices of the CAC, DAX, Dow, FTSE, NASDAQ and the Nikkei over prior history using technical analysis to then gauge as to where each of those indices are likely to go over the following week, returning each Monday with fresh analysis and fresh updates. So here we have the CAC, which we've been noting has been trading within a range of around about 4,900 to 5,000. It's been trying to break just recently the 5,000 resistance, and in fact if we look at the intraday chart, it's currently at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday the 28th, and we can see that it's managed to break through this 5,000 resistance. Market just opened quite early, just beneath 5,000, and then has been trading above that for the majority of the day. As to where we are at the moment, as to whether it will stay there, it's hard to tell, but there's a strong possibility of it now finding a new breaking through the resistance and now landing at that resistance and creating support. We won't know, of course, until the end of the day if that's been gone ahead. But if that is the case, and we do find a new support at and a breakthrough resistance at 5,000 as support, which the resistance then becomes the support at 5,000, we're likely to see a good trading range between 5,000 and 5,200 with the CAC. Moving now on to the DAX. Similar story with the DAX. Trading range between around about 6,850 to 7,000. Likely to see a bit of consolidation between that, but there is an opportunity there for it to break 7,000. If it does, there's a good amount of room up to around about 7,200 for the DAX. So look out for that. The Dow trading within a bit of consolidation beneath 13,000. If it manages to break the 13,000, then we're going to see a trading range quite wide this time, between around about 13,000 and 13,500 at the very most, but likely to be around about 13,250, where it's likely to consolidate between. If it does break through this 13,000, it's going to be another shot in the arm for the Dow and another possibility of some quite strong bullish moves. So look out for that. The FTSE, been trying to break through 6,100 for some time now, has failed at pretty much every attempt. However, there is hints that there is a possibility of a breakout, but they're just hints. We need to see a real clear breakout above 6,100. The market currently is around about 6,135. However, as we know with supports and resistances, they're not an exact point where we're likely to see a support or resistance. They're points that the majority of the time act as a point where there's a change in sentiment. So we have to just be aware of that sometimes they can knock up a little bit higher than where we're putting the actual line. So we need to see a clear break at 6,100 and a clear candle above that to really see if there's any real move above that resistance. So that's the FTSE. Moving on to the NASDAQ, similar in style to the Dow as always, trading between 1,900 and 1,950. Likely to see that until we see a break in the Dow. If we get the break in the Dow, we're likely to see this following suit and breaking resistance at 1,950. The Nikkei threatening to break resistance at around about 13,950, 14,000. However, it really does need to clear 14,000 before we're likely to see any further strong gains. If it does, then there's going to be a real shot in the arm for it. It's going to be slight consolidation around about 14,500, but there's a real strong possibility of it moving up to 1,500, the bottom of that point of site consolidation, the bounce there. So we're likely to see a possible break at 1400. If we do get that, then there's no reason at all why it can't move up all the way up to the next really strong resistance of 15,000. So that's this week's TechA video newsletter on Monday the 28th of April 2008. We'll be back next Monday to see how we've got on. Of course, don't forget we've got a free course at www.insightsupport.com, insight.com, and don't forget to look out for further updates from Insight as regards to TechA, and make sure you subscribe to these videos on whichever video service that you're using. So that's it. I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.